Oh, that's why. I swear to God, Jamie, if that's you, you're gonna say something. Okay. So I should be able to get some lift on this then. charging? It is charging, okay. You don't understand. I just shot out of bed. You're so crazy, I swear. You're like, this is blasphemous. A midday stream? Trying to see stream. Yeah, good time to, or decent timing where I have some babysitter help, and so I got time to kind of do whatever I need, and I need to practice. Perfect. How have you been so far? It's what is it, like it's about like 4:30 or so for you right now. Each other's stream, huh? So I shake my head. This guy doesn't get any rest. Yeah, exactly. Like, what else would I be doing? A lawn? I can. Not really much going on there. But it kind of gets me in because I did one last night. I got one last night. And my main thing I've been wanting to do is this, but I usually can only do it a slight bit at night. But during the daytime, it's usually good. But if I have the little baby teeth around me, they go and try to destroy everything in my path. The dedication is next level. Hey, what's up, David? You mentioned this earlier. Like, all I ever do is just go back to this. That's super funny. I'm doing well though. I fell asleep before I ended up catching a stream. I'll say, oh, okay. Well, that's good. You need, shoot, man, you need that rest. That's good. Yeah, I don't even remember what I was doing last night on stream. I think I was just, what was I playing? I think I was playing Poppy Playtime. Just trying to get some more, just trying to get closer to finish it. Windy. Oh, what did you say? I saw you stream Poppy or something. I don't know. I didn't have time to check this morning. Oh yeah. That was last night. Also, how's your day been going so far? Hasn't been up. It's not even that late for you guys yet. Yeah, I know. It's only 1:30. It's not too bad. Pretty uneventful. Had a good amount of lightning and thunder last night, which was cool, but also scares the baby teeth. But they were asleep by the time it got really roaring. Where's my other tool? I'll leave it. But let me see if I can get this going. Just practice for now. This is practice for casting metal for frameworks. What's the plan of this creation? By the way, it looks cool. Yeah, this is for doing a metal framework. Do I even have an extra one? I think I do have an extra one right here. Yeah. Essentially, just a metal partial. So with it, when you're like designing a lot of these little patterns and everything, usually a lot of people would use a preform to be able to do it, but in case you don't have one, it's nice to know how to design and make it your own. So that's trying to match like a similar pattern. Of course, this will just be a lot smaller. That type of that pattern that's underneath here, and that's going to help with retention of the acrylic that would be holding in like the teeth right here. And so that's the main things that you would put over places that would be called the saddle of the saddle of the mouth. So it's going to sit on here just like a saddle, and I have to design it so it goes to certain spots without overextending or overreaching. And then I'll go to duplicating, pouring, pressing, all those other stuff later as I go and like practice more. Alright, but now that I kind of drew a pattern, a really large pattern, I'm going to try to match it with my wax like I have over here. Oh, we have someone that joined in over here. Hi, am I allowed to? Oh yeah, you take it easy, David. Oh, we have two people. Oh, sorry, I didn't see you guys. I was so hyper-focused. Awesome Yak. These are a model of real teeth. I have another model here that kind of matches it for making a denture, but these are acrylic teeth, like made out of plastic. And then Joe, yeah, of course, Joe, yeah, these are. This is a channel that hopefully, while I'm doing teeth things or playing games, you guys can ask teeth questions, and hopefully I can give you guys an answer. But yeah, welcome. Sorry, I was super hyper focused. But yeah, do you make models out of real teeth? Yes. So like as an example set that I kind of have here. Oh, we have another person. Oh, cool. Why does my dentist keep delaying my appointment probably in my root canal? Can you tell her to hurry? All right, here's a question. Is it good or bad to floss my teeth? Hi, just welcome to the stream. Yeah, that's super cool. All right, so with this, as an example, like I was telling you, I have a set of teeth on a little jig that's called an articulator right here, and these are actually my teeth. And I had to do, and main thing is because I'm doing some like play around and some adjustments and such. So this is my mandibular, my lower cast, and then I knocked out all the teeth for this front one so I can make myself like a makeshift denture if I wanted to. But then I can go and do that. I can go and put them together, get them lined up to match like the teeth set that I would want to do. A lot of this extra stuff is just the extra wax that I just need to carve out. But yeah. One of you asked also, I think, that I saw was, should I floss my teeth? And of course, actually, it's a very common question, and I have a little diagram that I drew the last time that someone asked that. So it's actually nice to have it, nearby. Did you take this from someone's head? Yes, these are impressions I would get from someone's head. Usually it would be in an impression jig, kind of like, here's one that would be for like the front teeth. Here's another set that would be for, I think these are the lowers. Is this me? This is not me. No. But here would be like a lower impression tray to be able to do all that stuff too. Right? Yeah, yeah, I kept this diagram. But how many times should I brush my teeth? So far I've done it twice. I kept a diagram. Yeah, you give them back their teeth. Yeah, they'll eventually get their teeth back and such, right? But as an example, especially if you're here for dental tips and everything, with this diagram, I know it looks like a lot, but essentially I'll kind of guide you from piece to piece. But when you look at your tooth is formed out of 5 different surfaces. So like the cheek side, then you have the tongue side, you have the in-betweens that go towards the front, you have the in-betweens that go to the back, and then this is the chewing side right in the center. So when we brush and everything, we're usually brushing, and brushing. And that knocks out 3 surfaces out of the 5. Well, if you do common math and everything, and we look over here, if you go and look at how many surfaces represent like a percentage of the tooth that's covered, if you only go and clean 3 surfaces out of the 5, you get 60%, which means you get like a grade D on the scale, and then of course D's get dental decay. And so that's kind of like a fun way of saying it. But if you go and floss in between the teeth, getting that 4th and that 5th side, this is where you would floss and everything, side 3, side 4, then you can get those extra ones and get good clean teeth overall. And so that's kind of a neat way that I usually teach my students that are becoming dental assistants to kind of be able to phrase it if you need to. So that this is also overwhelming for me. Oh, good man. How do you chew in the center of your mouth? The teeth are on the outside. So the center, essentially, especially because this is the center of the arch, or the center of the tooth, versus when we go and do an arch like this, you usually have a certain amount of teeth. Do any of you guys know how many teeth we actually have in our head as an adult? I know. It's not supposed to be class, right? I have 100. Yeah, at least have half of that throughout your lifetime. How many teeth does a rhinoceros have? I think. So with it, usually on a adult, you'd have 32. As a kid, as a child tooth, you'd only have about 20. So, like you mentioned, it had 100. You probably had at least 52 within your lifetime so far. And then when you go and reincarnate, you'll get the other 52, and you'll be at 104. And so usually those would consist of 3 molars, which I'll draw as squares, we'll have 2 premolars. I'll draw as circles. We have a canine that I'll draw as and then we have 3 in anteriors. Canines, laterals, and centrals. And a midline that goes over there, and it just goes and flips the same on the other side. Canines like dog, yep. So it'd be usually like as this one being here, be a K9, even though that's like the abbreviated version, but that's K9. Or also another word for it is cuspid. And that's would be like your vampire tooth essentially, right? Molar, I hardly even knew her. Do you have to wash the front of your teeth or can they be licked clean? So that's actually a good question. Can we just get the plaque that would be on the can we get the plaque that's on, let's say this is a tooth surface and you got some fuzzies sticking out, and that would be, the fuzzies would be our plaque. Can those be rubbed off? When you do take off that plaque, it depends. It just depends on what mechanical, what physical motion are you able to put to it to go and stir those off. Is your tongue sufficient enough to be able to go and rub those off? Maybe not. But even things like chewing gum, chewing something that, wiping like your shirt against your front teeth, wiping a wet cloth towel against your teeth. All those are mechanical friction that you can go and wipe off. Those are mechanical friction that's going to go and wipe off a little bit of the plaque, but deep down you might still have something that's hidden behind that would be more over here at like the gum line. So you have to watch out for that. And so adding like the floss and other different things like bristles and everything, then that should be a good way to help. Triangle teeth, also amazing. I don't have a. What if you bite so hard that your teeth explode? Your teeth can crack in a way, and the only reason why you don't get to the point where you just essentially just explode and crack them out to the side is because we have nerve endings in our teeth, and we have periodontal ligaments in our teeth also. So as our tooth usually is in the media is drawn out, we have we have multiple layers. We have a heart essentially in our tooth, which would be called our pulp. We have our dentin, and we have our enamel. And so we have these 3 layers, but then we also have this outside layer that goes around the tooth, which would be called our PDL, our periodontal ligament. And this has some nerve endings because these are our shock absorbers. Our pulp is made of nerves. Our dentin has nerves. So all these nerves fire off as you go and try to explode your teeth as you're biting down super hard, and makes it so that you feel pain and you can't achieve it. The only one that doesn't really have nerves is our enamel. Our enamel is the strongest substance in our body, but you can crack those, but everything else underneath would just be, let you know and as red alerts to not do that, right? That would be no good. Yes. What if you're born with 300 teeth? There was a situation where someone was born with a lot of teeth, and it was all in their hard palate. It was all in the hard palate of them, and they had to extract it. I forgot how many there were, but there was a lot of like small mini teeth. They weren't fully fledged they weren't fully fledged crowns and roots of the teeth, but they were a lot. Right? Does the tooth heart pump blood like the chest heart? So good little thing. And sorry, I know you guys are just flooding the freaking chat, which is fun. But it's good that you bring up, does the heart and the tooth kind of pump have any connection to it? So as an example, if you're just going and laying down and you're just falling asleep, drawing a little stick figure, and then you got your little bed and you got your little pillow, and you got your blanket over you because you're nice and chilly and everything. Good. Yeah, I could draw beds. Totally. That. Okay, good. So we got our bed, and you're just chilling in your bed and everything like that. Because your heart is at the same level as your teeth up here, the the beat of your heart is going to pump so much that if there's anything that's wrong with your teeth, such as you have an abscess, such as if you have an abscess or something that's hurting your teeth like a toothache, because everything's horizontal and you're not having to deal with gravity making it hard for the blood to pump up to where your tooth is, laying down a lot of times when people have issues is going to make it even hurt more. And that's why when usually people have usually have toothaches before they get to the dentist, they're usually like, oh, I have to sleep sitting up in the couch because I can't lay down because it hurts so much. There's an actual thing to that. Now let me go down to the next one. I lost all my enamel. That's unfortunate with the enamel thing, because that's there is something out there called enamel. What's it called? Ameliogenesis imperfecta. That makes it so that your enamel's not when you're born with it. Your enamel's very weak, and they'll just break off and flake off. Did I have a bad thing? We can stop asking questions if you want. I have a story to share. One time my mouth really hurt bad. Do you know why? Well, that's not really a story that you shared all the things to it. So cool and good. You're drawing. You can't draw a bed. Yeah, I barely even drew something, right? So if your tooth hurts, should you go upside down? Upside down would probably put you into, if you went upside down, right? Then gravity feeding that to your tooth would probably make your head explode from how much pain that you're going to be getting. It always takes your teeth. It always takes your teeth for money. Oh, you're talking about tooth fairy and stuff. I've always wondered what happened to someone's genetics that led to a mutation where you grow extra teeth either in your mouth or. Oh, the lightning and thunder is still happening outside. Oh, that's fun. Is it raining then? It is not raining. So okay, so we just have thunder and lightning going on right now. Let's see. In your mouth or in other body parts, it's interesting to see. Yeah, usually when we have like extra teeth that are more than the 32 standard, and we get like a +2, like we're rolling dice or something. Usually that +2 or anything that's above that nat 32 would be called supernumerary teeth. So supernumerary teeth is going to just be the excess. So that a lot of times when people have supernumeraries, they would have like a third premolar and then have the same one on the other side. That's usually the most common one, is having having another bicuspid or a premolar, as they would call it. So that's kind of usually the case that tends to happen. Makes sense. Can I buy more teeth at Des? You can buy them online. They're just gonna be made of acrylic, right? I want my teeth in my hands. That would be essentially isn't that what Wolverine has essentially? Because he's able to protrude his bone mass out of his fist, so then he's essentially just sticking out his excess bone, like tooth bone, and just shooting it out and then regrowing it. So that's his regrowth factor, right? I have my baby teeth still. Some people do have their baby teeth. The oldest person I've seen with their baby teeth was probably like 52 with like 2 baby teeth. And I believe it was tooth A and tooth J, which would be the baby teeth for the top. I want to bite the ground with my teeth. You just want to taste it. That would taste bad. Oh yeah, I saw it. Imagine eating a hamburger with your hands. It'd be a hand burger then. Did no one say that? Did no one freaking bring out saying hand burger? How dare you guys? No one had that, huh? Damn. I thought I could rely on y'all. I mean, I like the tooth-like reflexes. Teeth are bones, yes. Wolverine uses metal claws, not teeth. They are, yeah. I don't get it. Hamburger, yeah. Me neither. You guys are terrible. You guys are having me on the ropes over here, and you couldn't catch hamburger. Where's my model at? Where's the model I was working on? Oh, here it is. Hamburger, not hamburger. But hamburger. Could you make me a tooth for a follow? Could I make you a tooth? Like, if I was just go like reach over and be like, there you go. There's your customized molar. You can wear it wherever you want. I'll send it to your address. All you have to do is just slip it into your mouth. I think it's for, let's see, what tooth is this for? This is an upper. No. Yeah, this is an upper. This is like tooth number 14, I think this is 15. So this is your upper left. That molar will be sent and be found in your mailbox by the end of the day. I promise you that. Couldn't catch with my hands, with my hand tooth. I'm sorry, Miller. Who did you take that tooth from? Will they get it? Will they get it back? It just kind of depends. So this one's the one that's going to be going to Derek. That's that number 15 right there. And the other tooth that's going to Joe. Let's get him not the same tooth. I feel like he would enjoy another one. Here's the one that Joe's gonna get. This is a mandibular central incisor. So this would be number 24. Yeah. So this would be the lower front tooth of the bottom teeth, right there in the dead center. So it's like, everyone wants 2 front teeth. That's the one that you're gonna be getting. So congratulations to today's winners. You're gonna go and our lucky winners are gonna get a tooth number 24 and a tooth number 15 for being proud supporters of Dental Things. Give me back my molar teeth right now. Hey, you lost that. You put it under your pillow. You got paid out your 20 cents. This is fair trade. What made you want to be a tooth doctor? I'm pretty sure a disease. I'm pretty sure there's some disease that makes me want makes me have a want to do dental things. So until they can cure it, that's what I'm stuck with now. Little introduction myself. My name is Josh Abigus Frank. Hope you know. Hope you know now. And that's what's going to be on the label when you get your tooth number 15, like we discussed earlier. Oh, 2 seconds. I got a call that's coming in. All right, back to the lab again. Right? Probably a scam call. They're calling them into work. No, they're calling me and telling me that I need to stop giving away teeth. That's what they end up calling about. I'm not old enough to watch this. smaller. A smaller one. This will be fine. That today's been just so weird. Yeah, hasn't it? That's a pretty good way to put it. The most normal, and even this is different. Well, it's calling out to go. Have fun playing with your teeth. Don't worry. Make sure to check your mail. Those teeth will enter. Those teeth will get to that address as you placed it. But thanks for joining. Oh, is that the end? I think that is. Alright. I think we're out of that storm now. I saw your question there. Let me go and see what you got go, or that comment that you said. I think I should call them comments. All right, let's see. I'm gonna read this one. The fever dream seems to be over. So now the fever dream seems to be over. That's so funny. Yeah. What job were you working during? What job were you working before doing what you're doing now? I don't think I ever asked you where dental things began. Oh, kind of like a lot of places. I don't even know if I can say a lot of places. Waiter. Kind of. Not even a waiter. That wasn't even the first spot. Went and did. What is it called? Waiting. I guess yeah. Waiting staff for banquets and weddings and all that fun stuff. So I got to see a lot of wedding related stuff in my beginning, and during that time I was going to dental assisting school until I can finally get out. Yeah, it was fun, and the fun thing about it is it was at a golf course, which a lot of places that have those kind of wedding venues are anyways. So just all the normal wedding stuff on top of banquets and holidays and all that crap. So it'd just be like, what's it called? Freaking like PGA golf tours, or like Easter, Memorial Day, all those dumb holidays that would come up that would require us to go and set up for people to just buffet and just pig out. Was just a fun one, but all the golf stuff on top of it. I didn't specifically work in the golf area at all, but it was fun, kind of everything that they had to do. But yeah, that was my only job that had a lot of spread before I got into dentistry. So nothing really crazy, but my time there was fun. I got to meet very cool people that were that became my work friends, and they were friends with me for a good long time, and they still are. We just haphazardly keep in touch. But yeah, it's a neat road. What about yourself? Anything fun? Were you a chef for a multi-million-dollar corporation that sees millions per day? I like to say that way more interesting than what I'm doing. Say that was way more interesting than what I'm doing as a job. See, that's the thing too, because I never really got to work retail. I could say that I never done retail, and that's where a lot of you guys have the advantage over me. Is that you have that version of customer service down, versus mine. It's like they have to come to me, and someone's gonna poke them when they get there. Advantage. Sadly, I never got to meet any cool people during that time on, like, I said cool people, like any famous people on that, especially since it was a, like, kind of weird offset destination for, like, some famous people to come and golf at, or be a part of the PGA tour line or whatever. There's a convenience store. I'm trying to get a proper job, doing something else for 1 hours, trying to move out and all that fun stuff. Dog. Well, I was saying dog. Do what I'm doing. I could teach you everything. It's gonna feel weird. It's gonna take a while, or it could take a bit. But especially where you're coming from, there's probably, which that's also the other thing. Not everyone has interest, and they think that this is gross. Totally understand that, but sometimes you'll just find that certain places just need enough help, and if they have someone that's willing to do it, they'll just train on the job. And then you have little dental things in your back pocket that can kind of give you some hints or clarification on anything that you would do. But the medical field isn't made out for everyone. Like, if someone was to say, oh, just come do nursing, I can't do that, and I have no aspiration to do that because I can't handle blood outside of the mouth. So that's where my line stops. I grew up with Shaki, I can handle it. There you go. Yeah, I was gonna say, medical's always good, but sometimes, yeah, right. All those shock videos, all those just terrible videos that were put up online are just eye-opening. As much as that person was probably being just blown open, or torn open, or chopped open, or dismembered, or sledgehammered or all those other fun things. It's crazy, crazy, crazy stuff. Pain Olympics, all that is some other version of hell. That's the one I'm missing right here. And that's the weird thing is too, is like in the mouth it's totally super normal for me to see like bleeding and not like bat an eye at it, and then all of a sudden someone goes and cuts themselves, or I cut myself, or like I like an example, like I'm going at this and I'm trying to like take this off, and then I slip right into my finger like that, and like if I'm even like barely deep enough and I see blood just running, oh, I gotta go lay down. I can't handle that. Or I can't stomach it. I won't throw up. I just will pass out. That's my thing. But if someone's bleeding profusely in the mouth, or we cut something that ideally you don't think was something that should be cut, oh, I can handle that and be ready for eating lunch. Totally no problem. So I'm just desensitized to that part. What do you recommend for trying to put myself out there? I might consider wanting to do something like that. However, I only have 3 years of stocking experience. That's it. So that's the thing. You have stocking experience, which is being able to follow detailed plans that are set forth by someone that does it. So you kind of have some more independence that you can kind of put out there when something is laid forward. Not picky the kind of job I want anymore. Oh, I feel you. Like you said, you trying to get past this so you can get out there and do more things and move on forward. See, that's the stuff. Is like when I've only done dental for so long, I lose that connection to kind of even think like, what's a job out there? Like even if you look like towards like local school districts and look at being like a custodian for a school district, they get paid really good. Be a custodian, clean up whatever they want you to, or specifically they'll have certain custodians that clean up like different areas, or they're like towards that. That's a pretty easy job to be getting in, and stable. You know that it's always going to be there because it's funded federally or by the state, and that's usually a pretty good deal. And then you can kind of start picking up your next move from there. Like I mentioned, like even dental. Or I was gonna say, okay, how about this? Which you don't need to say. Is there like an age I have to be to do that? Keep in mind I'm only just gonna be 20. Yeah, no, I have cut, well, and this is also, of course, is also California, but I have cousins that once they got out, they pretty much got out and then went right back in and did custodial work. But you don't have to give me your state, but if you do, you can. But what state do you live in? And then I can kind of take a little look into like what you guys got going on. You can pick like the next door state if you want to. They're probably gonna match exactly what you have anyways. It's on a point. I live in South Carolina as of right now. Oh, cool. That's good. So, SC, if I go and take a sneak peek preview here. Then... But also, aren't you kind of like tech enthusiastic or whatever? I don't know how to say that. Aren't you kind of like, are you technology inclined? That could be also something to look at too. Technologically inclined probably is what I would want to say in there. Damn, that's hella far. That's the other side of the goddamn nation at that point. Let's see, what do you guys need for over there? There are 2 career paths, EDDA or DA, radiography, blah blah blah. Functions, dental assistant, dental assistant. There are no initial education or training requirements for this level of dental assistant. It's possible to ensure that the auxiliary staff will be exposed to our biannual. Oh, so you guys can. Yeah, you guys are pretty easy. You guys can do like on-the-job training for what? For being a dental assistant at that point too. Under direct supervision, you can chart, remove sutures, place ortho ligatures, place remove over dam. Okay, so I got a general idea. Okay, so looking at some of these places, let's say I was to go and move over there, and of course some of these places want to just super lowball us anyways, so that's also a thing. So I was getting more tech literature. I'm going to go into school for coding. Cool, I like that. I like that idea. So for coding. When it comes to that, there's also like same thing with me. Like at one point, I wanted to go into more kind of tech support type of area too, and a lot of them were looking for CompTIA A+ certificate. That's something to also look into. I know it requires a little bit of studying and a test that you have to take, but CompTIA A+ is a good place to start, especially if you're trying to look into something tech related. Down in the lower sectors, and then you can build your stuff as you build your certs as you're going higher and higher. Let's see. DA, yeah, if I was to move over there, I'm looking at between, I don't even know, what the hell's your guys' minimum wage over there? I can probably find it. Holy crap. Okay, so compared to, what was it again? I'll write it down. So usually a lot of times with anything that's kind of tech related, a lot of them are going to want something that's called CompTIA, CompTIA, and then usually there's a specific one that's like A+. But this is usually what a lot of them tend to like ask for before you get into there. Before you get into some, they're like, oh, should have or must have or has the potential to get their CompTIA certification. And that's just essentially just saying that you are computer literate, and it goes a little bit more into like small areas of, a little bit smaller areas of tech stuff. Like it's not like specifically coding and everything, but it's mainly the whole thing to troubleshooting, knowing what you're looking for as far as like network router, network stuff, kind of like the basic pieces of it all. But you guys are $7.25 an hour over there, man. That I was yeah. Well, of course here in California, which is freaking insane over here in California, anyways. As long as I can get my foot in the door, something Jason does all I want. Exactly, I think that would be a perfect little spot for you to be able to to be able to do a way to be able to do it. When I was back in 2008, back in 2008 when I was doing my waitering job, we were making $7.25 an hour, and that was like the minimum wage at that point was $7.25 an hour. Back in 2008 here in California, and so I'm making 11 right now, but yeah, it's insanely low, which is it's cool if everything else around you matches it, right? Like right now, our minimum wage here is, I think it's like $16 or something like that. And then like it's $16, and then all the food service workers here, starting in April, is going to get a mandatory minimum raise to $20 an hour if they work for a fast food company that has that has a certain amount of employees. There'll be minimum wage 20 an hour for fast food workers. Also, you have a higher cost of living. Hell yeah, I have a higher. It is definitely a higher cost of living over here, and that's also what sucks too. But yeah, like that, like our $16 an hour definitely doesn't go super far, but it helps. It helps with how much things cost. But I don't even live in like the busy areas. I live in the I live far away, at least like 80 miles away from anything that's like of big importance. So we're in the kind of easier going area. Because at that point, looking at some of these dental jobs in your area, it looks like they can start me off at low, like $16 an hour. And it looks like kind of averaging mid to high is like $23 an hour, $25 an hour. That was a 30. Oh, they're for a specialist though, that's why. But even that's an easy one. They're not even asking for, are they asking for experience? To think of it like that, my $30 an hour. But of course, this is also in a very populous area, so I would have to commute to be able to get to this area to get to there. Yeah, like this guy's just looking for a dental assistant. He's not even looking for anything higher. He's not looking for an EDDA. It's not too bad. Charleston, that's a big place, so yeah, they'd be paying a little bit higher. Need to kind of look. You're also okay. If you don't mind, why are you using to find this info? So this info is specifically for like jobs and everything. I'm just looking at the Indeed, Indeed.com, for just getting like raw numbers on a familiar field that I'm in, and kind of using your info and the info that I'm seeing on Google to kind of get together all this. But yeah, Indeed is a nice way to kind of find a base level, just kind of blanket of it all. But like, if I was to look kind of something along the area that you want to do, help desk technician for health sciences campus, part-time, 17 an hour. But what do they want? Yep, there it is. Do you have CompTIA? Okay, so like let me bring it up here because I have it here. This is exactly what I was mentioning. Cancel. So as an example for this place that's talking about stuff. Let me see. Can I do this on side by side? Yeah. So even with this, like help desk, and like I mentioned before, it's saying certifications, CompTIA. That's a big thing that a lot of these IT support places are going to be looking for to get you in. And they're starting at 17. Looks like it's at like a school or some type of institution or something. Of course, it's wherever the hell it actually is. IT technician. Here's another one that they're gonna probably say break and fix incident project glasses. This guy doesn't offer too much stuff. Help desk technician. I'm gonna start out small, get some stuff under your belt. This is gonna actually require a degree, so that's gonna be an extra 2 years of that. Environment, how to apply, blah blah. Oh yeah, and then you have like the different steps, and this is Williamsburg skills. I see a bachelor's degree. Okay, so this one wants a higher one. Volunteer, really? Internal help desk. Schools, okay. Office experience, 365, something with admin stuff. Yeah, I was checking the CompTIA website first. But I see, yeah, and it's even with that website that like offers to be able to that offers that specific certification. I don't know how much it is, but I think it's a beefy cost. Oh yeah, anytime. It's oh yeah, that site's also super overwhelming. Yeah, is that what you said? Stuff is kind of a bit overwhelming because it's the first time I'm really sitting down, looking at everything, trying to understand it. Oh yeah. Oh, that CompTIA website is like super weird to look at. It feels like it has like so many different things. It's like, oh, are you sure you just want this? Like, why are like we have like 30 other things that you can also apply, that you can also get as a certificate. I'm like, hold on, buddy. Let me just start with one. But yeah, it's I tell you, especially with my time out there, just being out there at the beginning with this. Thankfully, dental fell into my lap a little bit more, but shoot, I didn't have I just say I really didn't search out people that would kind of help a little bit. I don't know. I felt like I was just mainly just on my own on it, and I probably just wasn't asking the right people, and I'm also probably not even the right people too on myself. But um, it is like as an example, when I would go to like the schools for like the counselors and everything like that, they would do their job and like get me like a little bit of help, and they would just be like, oh, if you want to go and do nursing or dental assisting, then you just got to take all these classes. And then I would have other questions, or like, I can't answer that, or I can't answer that, and I'm not going to give you information on who to go and get that. And I just felt like a lot more lost, and I was like, oh, that sucks. It's kind of a bummer, but it is some of them, when they work for these institutions, they're just like, oh yeah, I did my job, so I got that box checked off, and now I can move on to the next person without any further assistance to the previous one. Where's that? There it is. Really neglected doing a lot of my extra work in regards to setting up my career because I didn't know what I wanted to do still. That's where I kind of messed up in high school, I think. Yeah, and it's tough. I mean, even with the school system, like I was talking to my wife not just earlier today, and I was just like, I told her if the high schools were kind of smart, they would try to offer some more trade like elective classes, because I recently saw that at a school that we went to, that me and her went to, that they were looking for I think it was a cosmetology teacher or an esthetician teacher or something like that for the high school, and I was like, what the hell? Like, why are they doing that? Especially since that's like a thing that everyone wants to do. But it makes sense because that's something that everyone wants to do. They can kind of do a test poll of seeing, okay, well, we have a lot of people that want to do this trade class. And since this was kind of popular, let's do other trades. Let's do certified nursing assistant. Let's do medical assistant. Let's do dental assistant. Let's do logistics. Let's do something else. And if they can start just branching out all the places, that actually is a smart deal, because that can help those, like you mentioned yourself, that don't have that I shouldn't say that don't have that doesn't have a decided kind of career field, that we can get many things put out in front of you that are kind of give you just more of an open selection. Because I never knew that like dental lab stuff, I never knew that was a real thing. No one ever said anything. Of course, I could have done my research, but if I would have known about dental lab stuff, I may have gone and done that first before I did dental assisting at all, because this was something that's hands-on, hands-on, that I would have loved to do. But there was nothing, and there's not that many dental lab schools around the states anymore. That's a typical school. There's like small ones that would just do like, oh, weekend class or something. But yeah, where I'm at, they did have basic introductory things like trade classes, but nothing close to something you've learned in a proper class in trade school. I kind of feel that. I can see that being kind of a tough thing too, because yeah, you even just their structure of those little trade courses. Like if you were a mechanic or something, or you want to do body work or mechanic work, there was always a class for that and for those people. And I was not those people, so I did not have an interest in learning how to build my own engine or anything. But if I would have, did you guys? We call it a senior prep project, or did you guys have a senior project that you had to like do at your school? Something you had to like study on for your senior year and then present to a panel of like however many people on what you've learned for this? don't think so. I never did anything like that. Wicked. Sometimes I really like to see like what California does compared to like some other ones, but also you guys were in the pandemic at that time, or like in like the middle midst of the pandemic, so I would probably understand if that was something that was kind of put on hold also. But if that's something that like never rang the bell on you, then it's probably because they just don't do it. Come on, turn on. There it goes. So when I did, because it sounds like it might be a foreign thing. When I did my senior project, I chose to do real estate, and that was mainly because my mom did real estate, and I just kind of learned from her. Well, stupid me. Also, I was into like technology and everything, and especially during that time, MySpace was a big thing, and learning, and not just MySpace, but learning how to do HTML website building was also a thing that I was kind of interested in doing also. So on my side, I was doing 2 prep projects accidentally. I learned the certain aspects of like real estate and showing a home and doing all this other stuff. And then at the same time, I was building a website for that. And I was putting the images, the photos that I would take on the website, and I was building it so it had selectable areas and make your own appointment and all that stuff. And so when I came to present it on my day, and I was telling it to my set of judges, they were like, "Hold on, what are you doing? Like, are you doing real estate or are you doing computer design?" And I had to make a choice right then and there, and I was like, "I'm doing website design." And so on the fly, all my stuff that I had prepared to go and do all this real estate stuff, I was just like, well, throw that shit out the window, because now we're switching it all up and we're gonna do website design. And so I showed them what I did, and I broke down how it happened, and the certain people, like, and I flipped it and was like, just like real estate companies can use this and see this format, and I was like, okay, this works, and I passed. I mean, thankfully, freaking. I was happy that I passed. I don't believe I probably should have passed at that time, with how much effort I put into it. But like even it was even funny because before we got to do our stuff for our judges, we had to turn in this one folder that was really important. You do not turn in this folder, because this is going to go to your panel of judges, and they're going to use this to go, and they're going to get a read on you before you get started. In that, I forgot to turn in that folder, so I had to go and break into that classroom where they had the folder stacked, and I went and delivered and just put my folder not on top. I think I slid it like 3 rows down from the top folder, so that I would have it in. And I was like, okay, thank goodness I got that going. But I remember that was just an oh shit moment on, I really messed up and didn't get my work in. So that was a fun time to be in. Definitely would not want to go back there, but it was cool. In that moment, you completely switched up what you wanted to do. Yeah. And it ended up working, and during that time, of course, there was not too many things like that were helpful website builders like Squarespace or Wix or anything like that. There was like website hosting domains, which would have been what's it called? Which would have been like GoDaddy and stuff like that. But even at that point, like 2008, about the beginning of 2008, senior prep projects in like April/May. The iPhone has been only out for a year, so like real quick access to go and like look up websites wasn't even really that big of a mobile thing at that moment. So it was just I locally hosted that website from my laptop that I brought with me that day, and it ended up working. I actually still might have it somewhere in some of these hard drives that I have would probably have that PowerPoint. Or you know what? It's probably actually in my original email that I made ages ago. But in true fashion, never used any of it. Never used a lick of that in my career yet. But I kind of took that aspect of computer technology that I liked and I got to use it for something. Yeah, I think that is the cool part. Something I can kind of tell my kids and tell my kids and tell my students that sometimes, you know what, you prepare for a lot of things, but you just end up never using them. But you had a pretty fun time probably doing it, and probably a story to take away. All right. So I got that. I think I like the larger ones. The larger ones are a little bit easier to kind of manage and do than these small ones. All right. So at that moment, I am going to go and take a break. I'm gonna go make some lunch for me and the wife, and then I'll probably just jump back on for a little bit and actually play games because kind of want to step away from this. I'm usually standing the whole time while I'm doing this, so it's nice to take a little break. But you, I don't know, head back to sleep? I have no clue. I thought you were sick too, weren't you? Or no, were you sick? You weren't the one that was sick. I think it was Pada that was sick. There's a couple of you guys I have to keep track of. Sounds great. I'll catch you later and have some dinner. Yeah, you take it easy. Maybe I'll see you later, hopefully. But yeah, not sick as of right now. Good. Don't do it. It's like when people say don't have kids, don't get sick. But yeah, I'll see you later maybe.